we are back for another week of Kayfabe Chronicles. We are here with Broadway Tim is here with Mike and Crazy Craig here for tonight. And we are excited on this bumpy yet nutsy road to WrestleMania. Let me set up my script for 1 second here before I. No, I'm not doing that now,
Wrestling.
huh? Well, I was just going to get into like this though. I mean, we're still a month away from Mania. I mean, is it just me, or has the crowd chants been getting like way more rated MA or even R rated than anything that's going on in the ring?
No,
Or was it just because they were in Brussels? I,
no,
I'm not sure I want to translate some of those Belgianese fans, the signs from last night. I'm like, oh, geez. Um,
it's been like that for a while. I figured it'd be a lot more on Netflix, but they haven't really gone out at all with this.
WrestleMania. Guess what's going to be on Netflix? WrestleMania.
What?
So yeah, that's what I understood.
It's not on the cock?
It's not on my
It's still going to be on Peacock, but it's also going to be on Netflix.
Why is it going to be on both? That's so stupid. I don't know.
The whole reason it's on Peacock, it's well. Let me start off with that. I'm going to read you what I got from the WWE. Um, WrestleMania 41 will be available to live stream
something wrong with the volume. Hold on.
on Peacock in the United States, Netflix in most international markets.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Netflix outside of the United States.
Yeah, it won't be on Netflix for us.
No.
Well, right, and the WWE Network in any remaining countries that have not yet transferred to Netflix due to pre-existing contracts. So,
They don't
as,
have the cock overseas. We got the cock here. Big cock.
Because
well, like I said, I think a lot of that is just dealing with running out pre-existing contracts because it's like WrestleMania is going to live stream on Netflix after the that in January. The select few territories that will have the standalone, okay, blah blah blah. It's all it'll be all in the Netflix once the pre-existing contracts expire. So even on the other side of the fence, it's we're waiting for the great data
Trans?
transgender,
transgression
just like transgender mice.
no.
WWE is transphobic?
Don't you remember we had this discussion about the what was it Nicole Bass a few weeks ago? She's all jacked up. She was bigger than China.
Jordan Grace?
No, Nicole Bass. Anyway, but getting okay now we got into the John Cena promo. Now with this, I think I think the crowd helped with that too, because the heartbreak of the Cena heel turn is not just like solely sinking in. I think a lot of people got it after last night's opening promo. It's still, Cena turning heel still a distant second most notable heel turn of all times. Um, Hollywood still owns that. Um, uh,
It was either him or Cody, and I'm sure Cody said no. So
Yeah, and then Cody calls Cena a whiny bitch. But the thing is, though, what do we think of Cena's promo there? Is a good. I mean, I just see it as a heel getting heat, and of course he did so masterfully, and a lot of fans and a lot of other people too would almost agree on his side. He has a point.
it,
It's like,
it left me wanting more though. Like there was no finish to the opening
right.
segment. It was him just standing there staring at Cody, and that was it. Like,
Yeah.
no hits, no fights. He made you bleed, and you just turned around and walked out of the ring. Like, I don't know. It left me like, okay, he's complaining that he's given everything, he's given it all. He gets no respect back. He gets nothing, like, how you doing, this and that. 20 minutes later, Cody finally comes out, calls him a whiny little bitch, and that he wants the real John Cena, not the fake one, and then walks out on the mic.
And there's not another little pay-per-view in between either.
No talk back and forth whatsoever. I'm like,
John Cena sucks.
Yeah,
Sucks.
But well, that's all you need to think of that promo. Like I said, he got enough heat just not even saying anything.
yeah, but so is Dominic.
Perfect.
So it's like, it's nothing new. Just, yeah, he's a bad guy. People were still cheering for him, and people were, you saw the shirts. People had the new shirts and everything. So people weren't really, fully unhappy. It was just, I think, the way the crowd reacted. But there was
the kids, man. Like the adults,
the kids.
I'm happy that they turned heel. Like,
well, it's a time out. I'm going back to one night stand 2005. That was one or two ECW comebacks. That was just a glorious. I got chills thinking about that pay-per-view. I mean, like, bell to bell, man. That was just a good show. I forget where I was going with that though. That's where when Cena went into ECW arena and against RVD. That's when you see those signs, the iconic signs there in New York. It's just like, if Cena wins, we riot. Now, and when he got some smaller audience, not as much bass in the boos, but louder in the screams and sharper with the beer bottles. I don't mind telling you, at ECW arena. Well, no, that was not. That was at the Hammerstein night. Yeah, but anyway, it was. I just think of that. I mean, they do a shirt back at him. They didn't say, oh, Cena sucks. They fuck you, Cena. I mean, just straight up fuck you. I mean, they were vicious and nasty. And I don't know if RVD was supposed to even go over that night. Like I said, if that could have been a change, just dealing with the feeling in that audience. But anyway, on a side note, though, they must be on a different note. They must be burying Kaiser. I like Ludwig, but they're putting their new favorite toy face Penta against them in a no holds barred match. And during which Death Valley Driver didn't break the breakaway freaking table, or a backdrop break the breakaway table. I'm sorry, guys, but man, just back to my time. I mean, we would put each other through old dining room tables, old kitchen tables, and shit. I've been gimmicked with the sink once. I mean, really. Moving on, Dakota Kai retained title against the Ivy Nidals after the LWO ran in and chased off Alpha Academy.
Wait, Dakota Kai has a title?
Yes, she had won I believe the Intercontinental title. No, she won the world title. I'm sorry.
No.
Dakota Kai.
Did I?
Io Sky?
Yes.
What are you talking about? Io Sky has the world title.
Yeah.
Dakota Kai was just fighting Ivy Niles. That's it.
Yeah, Dakota Kai doesn't have the title.
Okay, yeah. Wow, I was off. Sorry. But that's the thing. Of course, I was looking ahead too. It's like deja vu and cliche colliding. You have a contract signing, but the two involved didn't go flipping tables. So in comes Mommy, where Rhea, short order, powerbombed Io into Bianca on a table.
Yeah, that's going to be a triple threat.
That was my question. You beat me to the punch, man. Still, no one went through a table, and
No,
Ooh.
that wasn't the table to break away though. That was more of a solid.
No, but still, that should have just broke even easier then.
They didn't unhook it.
Yeah, yeah, I know they didn't do anything with that. Well, if she was expected, if they were no, if that power bomb, she was expected to go through that. They were expected to go through tables, and nothing gave. It was just pretty bad. But yeah, Mike nailed it. We'll look. We'll probably look at it at WrestleMania. Come on.
Maybe Belgian tables are stronger.
Yes, I would. I would say that's quite right. If they was in the same, it's not the same. Presswood that plywood, glue wood that we would have.
The muscles from Brussels.
Their golden boy of late, Jey Uso, made short work of A-Town Down Under. And once again, am I having deja vu? Because didn't he just beat the other guy from A-Town Down Under last week? And now it's the other.
Yeah, Grayson Waller.
I don't know. They're not being very creative right now.
No, they're not. Good call. Not at all.
I just feel like there's not enough talent on Raw right now because it's just the same people over and over again.
Yeah, I was.
Like, where's the other than Rhea, Io, Dakota Kai, Ivy Niles, Valkyrie? Where's the rest of the women on Raw?
Yeah,
there's nobody there. When you go to SmackDown, everyone else is there. So it's. I don't know. They're being very shorthanded with.
Well, that's that. I think they're thinking that they might be thinking this to some degree. Move the pieces around a little bit, but thinking the same things that we are when you look at, okay, what'll probably happen after WrestleMania? They'll probably have the draft again, just to correct or see what happens with this premise, and that. There's a reason they do it after WrestleMania too, so I guess we'll go with the flow with on that one.
Well, they're doing it because the NFL draft is during that time.
Yep. After almost breaking his neck diving at them, Jey also thought of Gunther trying to put him out with a sleeper like he did last week again. The LWO beat the Creed brothers. Then Chad Gable then beat up on the LWO.
I don't care what you say. That's not Chad Gable.
Well, that's the name. I forgot the name of the American-made luchador. I think they
last week. That wasn't him. Someone else was being arrested.
I read it somewhere. No, I'm serious. I read this somewhere. I think Gringo Americano or something like that. There was actually, she had a gimmick name for it. I should have jotted it down, but it was just like, I don't think that. We'll see if it sticks. But on a side note, though, this blending channels and whatnot. But again, the promo music for WrestleMania just sucks. I mean, it really blows. Horsecock, smegma, and all. I mean, as far as music and sound goes, that is. I mean, who picked the music for WrestleMania? And it's just, it sucks. I'm sorry. I can't even get into it or whatever. It's just like annoying noises from more like a. Oh, anyway.
Who is doing the theme?
I should have looked that up, but it's so it's probably one of these rappers that they had on that we're never going to hear of again. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah.
They have a lot of butt rock bands that do the themes to a lot of these premium live events. Just like
Mm.
bands you definitely don't want to listen to ever.
Oh yeah, there's but then again, they had some rap groups that like hit. They had a stretch of them for a while, and like going back about 15, 20 years, they had a stretch of them where on pay-per-views they would do that, and then they just ugh. Um,
They should have John Cena do the theme.
yes, yes, that would probably be that would have been more fitting if in a different storyline, I guess. Yeah, well, even now, even more so as a heel, that dude, that's a brilliant idea, fucking brilliant.
Yeah, why aren't I writing for this company?
Well, that's why that's the kind of the premise of this podcast, really. I think before long, people are gonna be able to pat and recognize me, like, we should go overlook at these guys, these jokers a little bit. The little lacking on the quality so far, but been calling it.
Hey Tim, I don't know if you read. I was reading an article earlier today. I was telling Craig about it. That they're hinting that Drew McIntyre is going to join this faction with The Rock and John Cena.
They were looking if there's going to be a third one, and they're looking at.
Can't be Travis Barker. That's basically why they want to put someone there so someone has someone to yell at. But WrestleMania is like a month away. You better hurry up and get going on this because
Right.
no one is there. Cena's not there ever. He doesn't fight even when he is there, supposedly. Cody is this. I don't know what Cody's doing, but The Rock isn't going to be there much. So I don't know. Is Cena going to be at SmackDown or?
Let me look ahead. It's just SmackDown. No, I do not believe so.
I mean, what show is Cody's show?
Smack.
So he should go to SmackDown.
Oh yeah, no. The matches that we have actually, where did I put that? Have so far. Don't tell me I didn't.
You want me to go through it?
What, the matches that are confirmed for WrestleMania?
Yeah. Yes, I got. Yeah, it's going to be Belair and Io Sky and Gunther and Jay probably closing out night
you
one.
have somebody out of that match.
Huh?
Ray is going to be in it.
Well, yeah, I doubt. Yeah, I believe you're right there.
All along. I think that's the reason why they had her drop the belt.
Yep. Stratton is going to be hucking up her title to the Queen.
I feel like no one cares about that match.
No, it like I said, I kind of summed up the. I mean, I hate for us to, glance past, a lot of these, grade, 5-star matches. I mean, this is unbelievable talents and everything like that compared to just the brawling and the brawling the brawling from the 80s that I learned how to do in the late 90s there. So anyway,
yeah, but like all the momentum's towards the Raw's women's, not SmackDown's like an afterthought right now for the women's match. Like Tiffy.
Like I said, just sum it up with Stratton's going to be hucking up her title to the Queen. There's going to be another fantastic entrance I can't wait to see, and that's pretty much all that is going to be there. I mean, there's going to be some, great, fantastic finish and, great in-ring work and all that, but all in all, that's what's going to be there. Then we're going to have Cena and Cody, and more and more convinced that Cena will be doing the honor. Cena will be going out on his back because I don't.
I want to see it. So
You want to see what?
I
See
wanna
Cena
see
go.
Roman. I,
Cena's got to have a title run this year. So when's it going to happen?
it's even if he doesn't win now, there's no point of.
That though, that's the thing. I don't know how long Cena's gig even goes for. I don't think they even know. I don't know what they're banking
It's
on
the
or.
Royal Rumble, so that's basically what it's going to be. They'll probably have him lose it at the Rumble.
Okay. That is kind of, the so but we set the typical WrestleMania clock. Yeah, I see what they're doing with that. That'd be the way to go. Good thinking.
Yeah, either that or basically they'll do something where he'll basically retire with the belt, and whoever wins the Rumble gets the belt. They can do that too. So if they want to give it right back to Cody, then they can give it right back to Cody. But they can let him leave with the belt in hand because he's not going to lose it on the December pay-per-view that no one cares about.
Yeah, just like some tag titles like over on SmackDown, it's like some belts been going back and forth. Some belts can go back and forth. That's been a big part of history too. With I don't say belt swapping, but like every couple months they'll have another great match and fight back for the strap. That's how it worked back in the day. Um, Meanwhile, they just on a side note there, I gotta thank Monday Night Rollins, just the Monday Night Rollins promo in the ring. It was completely pointless, but it was a welcome palate cleanser to the night. If you know what I mean. You know what I mean? It's just
I don't even remember it.
yeah.
I don't remember. I watched this stuff and I don't remember like 5 minutes later.
I
Yeah.
remember him coming out complaining about something, and saying he's going to be on SmackDown, but I don't remember what happened because I was pissed off that there was freaking commercials on at
So
freaking 8 o'clock.
Oh,
so
that
Roman's not going to wrestle at WrestleMania,
No, I think it's going to be him, Punk,
and
and
Rollins
yeah,
in a triple threat.
yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Even the cat saying "Wow."
yeah. Well, I never hear this loud. What's up, pipes?
But no, it's Rollin. If Roman didn't attack CM Punk, then it probably would have just been Roman versus Seth Rollins. But he attacked CM Punk because the wise man was helping CM Punk. So I think we're gonna learn more about this SmackDown.
I hope so.
They have to set it up.
Whenever Uncle Paul gets into the picture, yeah, that's when definitely I my eyes dilate. I kind of change focus. I'm like, okay, now you have my undivided attention there. So it's just like, okay, what is the wise man? What situation is with that now? And like I said, we got that going on with Cody. Yeah,
We still have to know
that,
the favor too. We haven't even learned what that is yet.
Does Jacob Fatu have a booked match yet?
Yeah, I think it's going to be against Solo. So, but we'll see what happens.
I'm thinking these are big calls, dude. But I'm thinking you're right.
Well,
The
I was
way
way off on Roman Reigns appearing earlier, so.
uh, it's like they fed Finn Balor basically to Braun Breaker, who of course kept the Intercontinental title strap. Penta ran off Carlito and Dirty Dom. That's when Braun jumped in and Braun jumped on Finn, and the table still did not go.
Do they got an opponent for him for WrestleMania?
Oh,
Braun Breaker.
yeah, it's going to Penta or Punta,
Yeah.
whatever his name
Really,
is.
man? Penta?
Well, he just announced he's going after he just announced he's going after the Intercontinental. So there's your setup for WrestleMania. Baylor, because he lost again, and Dominic interfered and hit the rope when he was on it, and cause him to lose it, that's going to be that match. So Judgment Day is going to be done. Someone's going to come in, take over for Finn Balor, and we're going to find all that out on WrestleMania.
Speaking of welcome palate cleansers, though, getting into the Hall of Fame, Triple H, Flexi Lexi, and of course Undertaker's wife, Michelle McCool. That's all I know so far.
She deserves it.
Oh yeah. Well, also for being Mark Calloway's better half there, right? So it'll be Michelle Calloway. Yeah, I guess. Anyway.
Yeah, man. The Rock's mother? She should have been in there too.
Yeah. Oh well. Yes. Absolutely. Good call with that.
Why?
Matriarch of all these moments. I met her in passing once. Yeah. But okay, yeah. Now they're getting into Glasgow next week, and I wonder if they're going to put Drew McIntyre over. I wonder, Glasgow.
Well, that's.
I mean, they should.
Yeah, no, they probably. I'm just saying that they should and probably will. Not always, but generally speaking.
What happened?
Who's McIntyre going against? Who's his opponent, really?
Ooh. Well, we're getting into that now. I think a little bit there.
What about Priest? Does he have an opponent?
No.
That's right. It's those two. They're going against each other.
Well,
they have that feud.
Is LA Knight gonna? Because I know he's wrestling Nakamura on SmackDown this week for a rematch, but is he gonna have a match?
I think they might be looking at something different or bigger with that, as it is looking at Knight, Strowman, and Uso beat Sikoa, Fatu, and Tonga. And if it was just a basic clean finish with the running power slam, but of course, like a lot of these matches do, he was immediately nailed with a Samoan spike, and then of course the fight ended with Fatu putting Braun through another barricade. I love the violence. I know it's going to happen with these guys, but they might have something, because a lot of these guys don't have matches yet. Even with 2 nights, they're not all going to be singles matches. So I'm trying to think of what kind of.
They'll be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on SmackDown.
Battle Royal.
Oh yeah, no. I'll be getting into those particular guys in a minute. Oh well, yeah. Okay, yeah. There we go. Charlotte Flair won a match. She won with natural selection, followed by the figure 8, and she won the go. What's that?
She went against B-Fab.
Yeah, God,
that's a joke.
Yeah, it really was.
It's a bigger
the thing is, though,
Margo Naomi thing, but I still don't understand that whole thing.
One thing that's been going on, and I did see some videos on this though, is just like, okay, a dozen guards, it doesn't, these security guys could not keep them apart as they kept them brawling for a few minutes. And meanwhile, the guards. Here's the thing though, and I worked security. If my knee was out there, if I was not otherwise medically clear, which is just kind of our own jurisdiction. You're going to be working security, and that's the thing. If you're injured or out of it for a week, you're going to be on a sideline working like that. Now these guys are not there for any sort of security or anything. They're there to get thrown around. They are the bump guys. They are the sacrificial lambs. Um, it's like one of those things where, you know, bring me 10 of my finest guards and some of the weaker ones just for fun. Sorry, super villain in me. But yeah, they're not there for anything. They just get the beat up. So, but still, again, with this finish though, am I getting some sort of deja vu, or is this one just me where where they're breaking up the Queen and Tiffany Stratton, who ran in to start a fight? I
I don't know. It's
I
as I said, I just don't see any momentum with it. It's just Charlotte going after her 15th win after she won like 14 titles in 3 years.
hmm
It's like I don't know. People kind of got sick. That's why people booed her when she won.
yeah.
I see Charlotte Flair again.
She has not gotten the return that she wanted either, or they would have expected, and it the wind has been blown out of the sails, and that's why we're not even. It's going to be a. It's
Well,
not.
because she kept winning, losing, winning, losing, winning, losing. It was like they're gonna have her break. I think I spoke to you about
It was
this.
just like her father.
Yeah, like was she go like Sam? You remember this when she came out? I'm like, are they gonna have her break her father's record within the first 3 years of her wrestling? Like, what is the point of this?
You know what I find funny is that, and I know that Tim will agree with me on this. So you got Ric Flair, right? He won all those titles, right? But remember something. He lost all those titles too.
Yeah,
So Cena won all those titles, but he lost all those titles. You know how many titles Bruno Sammartino lost?
None. I'm trying to think. That was like
He lost twice. He lost to Ivan Koloff, and then he lost to superstar Billy Graham.
I just remember when he gave up the title to Graham and all that hoopla. But yeah, good call.
Yeah, but like that's a champion, man. The guy held the title for how long?
right. And I complained about this before. This is why I hate people losing. That's why I think just give Cena the freaking title, let him have the record, and then he'll lose it again. And
That's why Roman having it for that long was significant, man. Like he held the title for 4 years, man.
Yeah,
Like
he wrestled total of 8 times for the year for the belt.
no, man. He defended that title against everybody.
Okay, time out, Craig. Time out. Think of Hogan in the 80s. He made 3 appearances and wrestled maybe 3 times a year. And it was hyped up all the whole rest of the year just around that. So I will take 8 times a year over Hogan's 3 times a year.
Well, yeah, to your point, Tim, is that what Hogan made all the appearances that he could make. You know, they didn't have so many pay-per-views back then.
Yeah.
And then he was on Saturday night's main event. So
they were doing a lot more house shows. Not everything was
right. There were tons of house shows. I mean, I saw.
If you went to a house show, you saw him.
Right, of course, I saw him a whole shitload of times.
But it's just like now, Tim remembers. I complain about this all the time. You barely saw Roman Reigns when he had the belt, and that's what I hated. Same thing with Brock Lesnar and other people. I like it when there's a fighting champion that you see every week and kind of has a match for that belt.
Oh, really? You like Cody?
No, Cody doesn't wrestle.
Exactly. He's a fighting champion. He's had one of the worst title runs I've ever seen.
I know. I'm talking about Seth Rollins. But I like it when you're constantly fighting for the belt, not once a month or once every other month you're actually wrestling for the actual championship belt. Yeah, you held it for 600 days, but you wrestled for 3 of those days for the belt. Every other day was nothing about the belt. So this whole title reign of longevity and this and that, you don't wrestle for the belt, of course.
Yeah, but Roman wrestled at every big event.
No, yeah, bigger rep, which was probably like 4
What's he
times.
gonna do? He's not gonna wrestle on SmackDown, man.
I'm not
Come
saying
on.
you have to wrestle on SmackDown, but at least wrestle like a something. Like,
He's an attraction.
yeah, exactly. Might as well just have an attraction and throw a dunk tank in there. I don't know. Maybe I'm the minority report of it, but
Uh,
I don't know. I just like seeing people wrestle and fight with the belt and stuff like that. But that's me. But no, back to the point with Flair and all of that. It's just she lost the belt during the regular TV shows, but she won it back in the pay-per-views. That's what I wanted to say. And I thought that was stupid. Like, lose it during a pay-per-view, not always win it. Because every time there was a pay-per-view, you knew she was winning until she finally lost that match, which I forgot who it was. I think it was Becky or somebody. But it was stupid. Like, she would lose it 2 weeks later, she wins it.
yeah.
And it was like, okay, stop with this whole thing. And then they finally stopped it at 14. Or sorry, 12. And then I think she's won it 2 in the last 10 years.
It's like, what's the point of dropping the belt?
Exactly. You don't have to drop the belt.
Like, what was the point of Braun dropping the Intercontinental belt to Jey Uso?
That was to promote Jey Uso for something, and then
He held on to it for like,
once that
what,
was
a
being
month?
promoted towards the whole bloodline getting back together, then they gave the belt back to Braun. Right?
A lot of the times, they'll make a belt change, say,
Like Takamura.
right, or say, there's a baby face they want to push. A baby face has the title. A heel takes it from the baby face, and then the other baby face beats the heel because they don't want to go baby face with his baby face.
Right.
Which is what happened with Bruno losing to Ivan Koloff, and then Pedro Morales beat Ivan Koloff because they weren't going to have their 2 top baby faces in the company face each other. So that's I'm not even that old. I'm talking about shit that happened
You're old in the head.
Right. Well, that's true.
Well, no, you gotta know your history. You gotta go back a little bit, and that's about as far back as I go. Aside from that, when you're going back to the Fabulous Moolah and of course Gorgeous George eras. I hate to bring up a Simpsons episode, but here's my thing. There was that one where Grandpa Simpson was he turned out to be like the Gorgeous George of the Simpsons world, back in the day. So that was an interesting episode, and it put a lot together with that whole thing. But anyway, going back to
have a Simpsons wrestling shirt on Raw last night.
I believe it.
Right behind Cole, right?
Yeah,
I didn't imagine that someone had a Simpsons wrestling shirt on.
Belgium is they're going to be there. They're going to be in Brussels again because I think I don't know if they had fun, or even if they didn't have fun, I think it was still the scary kind of fun that they're going to have anyway. So
it's the European tours, like
they have amazing shows when they go to Europe, man. Like those crowds are ferocious, man.
When they had the pay-per-view in France.
Yeah, in Lyon.
Like, they wouldn't stop.
They were nuts.
Crazy.
Or when they go to Germany, man, or like those crowds are really into it.
Those guys. Well, that's the thing. That's what I love about WrestleMania, though. It's like those guys. You expect certain crowds like that all over the world. They do tend to congregate at WrestleMania. I mean, I just remember New York. They're fandangling up and down the subways. I mean, that's because before everything went to complete and total shit. But still, it's been moving on. He's getting into another one though. Yeah, just to close out the SmackDown here, though. Orton beat Carmelo Hayes.
Oh my God, that was just like, really?
Yeah, that's why. I'm not going to really get into that, but of course, Orton offers a handshake, but Carmelo being in the okay, so Orton just beat him again with another RKO. And that's when Orton starts to get that the little more rattlesnakey than usual, and get the old look in his eye, and of course that's when he just gets chased out by KO.
Carmelo's got to stay in his weight class, you know. Like
Yeah,
I don't know what they got him wrestling Randy Orton, man. He's not Danielson, man. Like that guy can't hang with these big dudes.
well, I was still like, they'd rather pit these young guys against these veterans as compared to at least is it still the top guy in a jobber? Absolutely. But at least the jobber gets put over for some sort of future,
I don't know, man. They kind of he hasn't had a very good run on the main roster. You know,
Oh no, it bores me to tears. I mean,
when he was in NXT, now he had that dynamic with Trick Williams, where it was kind of like a Shawn Michaels Diesel type of dynamic, you know. And then as soon as he dropped the NXT title and he went to the main roster, which I figured that was going to happen. Now, when Trick comes to the main roster, I think it's going to be a little different because he's a much bigger dude.
Yeah.
And he's over as hell. He's more over than Carmelo Hayes ever was.
Well put. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me throw this out there. It's going to be, I think it's going to be Kevin Owens, Randy Orton at WrestleMania. But what would you think that Randy Orton is the third person instead of McIntyre?
I said that to you the other day, didn't I?
No, we only spoke this morning.
No. But I'm telling you, I said that to you the other day because of the history that Orton and Cena have. And they're really good friends in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that hurt Cody even more?
Yeah.
That it's Cena and Randy. Would they recreate the Four Horsemen? Or is it just,
I mean,
it's only for the end of the year, but it's more of the hierarchy.
Yeah.
well, yeah, I don't know.
Because it's only for what, 8 more months? So I don't know. It's going to be interesting because it's kind of getting stale with Cena barely even showing up, Rock barely even there. So Cody is left off to the side until one of them actually says something or does something.
If they're going to have a faction, definitely have it be like a completely new faction. Not.
That's what I was getting. That's what I was sitting here getting at. Exactly what where Mike was already going with that. Keep going. I love that.
Like what?
No, what exactly what Mike was.
Don't use the Four Horsemen moniker.
No, I'm just using that as an example. Or is it just do the 3 and then have Randy just take over once it's all done? But Randy doesn't have much left wrestling anyway, because
I mean, he's always hurt.
Yeah.
I love the idea of a faction though.
But the stable that's in NXT that they're using.
Yeah, they didn't show up.
So you can basically use them as the catapult for what The Rock and Cena are doing, and then have them come up sometime this year and just kind of take over what they're doing. So
the question is though, say they have a faction with The Rock. So Cena's wrestling for the title at WrestleMania, but are they going to have a match with this faction, or they're going to save it? Because remember, last year didn't Roman wrestle in 2 matches? He had that tag team match, then he wrestled then he lost the title to Cody.
No, the tag team match was the SmackDown before or something like that.
No, it was one day of WrestleMania and the other day. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So are they going to do something like that where Cena, The Rock, and whoever, or maybe it's just Cena and The Rock wrestle Cody and I don't know who else?
I don't think that's going to be happening. I think it's still going to be just Cena versus Cody, but they can use that faction as all of a sudden comes out to the ring and distracts Cody on what's going on, and then Cena gets the fall, and then basically it's Cena and The Rock ruin over this faction that basically has been causing a lot of chaos in NXT, and then kind of use them till the end of the year until Cena's ready to fully leave at the end of the year. Like, they can do something like that, but I don't know. It's a lot of stipulation because no one knows exactly what's going on, how this is all going to fully work out, and it's just everyone's speculating that there's a third person because The Rock and Cena are barely on TV, and you need that momentum going into WrestleMania. And there's no momentum for that match unless Cena's going to show up every SmackDown and Raw and not do anything, which I think he's doing right now. But I don't know. They still have 30 days to figure something out, or we won't see anything till WrestleMania. Who knows?
I think we're going to be, seeing this rate a little more of a control, maybe more of a straighter line, straighter road to WrestleMania next couple of weeks. But as they do it, of course, they'll be looking to answer a lot of those questions, or maybe a lot more things will fine tune and straighten out.
I mean, for damn Skippy that Cody's not going to lose the belt cleanly.
Oh yeah. What the I'm not going to get into the finish of that. I can't even. Like I said, that's going to be we'll definitely be watching with great interest. But
I'll be watching with Craig, falling asleep.
Yeah.
Craig will be waking me up. Wake up! Wake up!
No, that's why we're trying to get back together with this thing. It's not so much with that. I mean, I got friends, just around town, but like I said, I got others that are out of moved out to Pittsburgh and Buffalo, but things like that, just that, or even a cousin down the way. I'd love to have everybody on for. Just like a live stream, like a watch party. Why? Because now it wasn't that long ago we would be, at somebody's house, having one too many beers. I mean, we had drinking games for the Royal Rumble, for God's sakes. I mean, and I don't get me wrong, I can't drink like I was, even in my 30s no more, but it was always a good time, and just having you guys every week has just been great. But just having that crew together for that kind of thing, where we used to not that long ago be meeting out at BWW, we'd be meeting out at each other's houses and ordering in BWW. There's always hot wings and pizza involved. Staples of bar food. And way too much beer, and we would. And when I say, some of like the last crew that I had, I'm not talking like when we were growing up as kids either. All these people were university professionals. I mean, there was not like one corner of the campus that wasn't,
about
directed by one of these people.
You're talking about Central Florida when you were down there?
No, again.
Oh.
Yeah, again, and here in Erie we had a regular thing. Night, sweetheart. Love you, pumpkin. Night, sweetheart. She had dentist this morning, so that's good. Yeah. I had foot doctor, so it's a whole different thing. Sorry, but pleasant distraction, but what it's all about. But like I said, thank you guys, and it's been really. Like I said, well, it'd be good to have that kind of that old feeling, the old camaraderie again, even if it's kind of remote. But that's what we do. That's what about the universe is all about, and so it's kind of what we do, bringing everything together. So, but I appreciate this as always. Anything else this time around?
Yeah. So, we didn't cover NXT from last week, man. There's some interesting stuff happened.
Yeah. Take us away then, by all means. I I failed on my own channel to follow suit with that.
So
Kind of got the
Julia and Stephanie Vaquer had a title versus title match, and Stephanie Vaquer beat Julia and now has both titles.
she has been on a streak, and she has been looking good. If they're going to be bumping anybody up to the main roster, then like that's going to be her.
But that
They have a lot of talent in NXT, man. Like I actually enjoy watching NXT more than the main roster, honestly.
Well, I know a lot do. Actually, most do. When it comes down to it, just because of the rate of action, but you see who's coming up, and you're also going to see who's might not make it, or they're going to do a lot more work.
With NXT, you're able to lose people up to the main roster, so you can turn over stuff a lot easier and quicker and more fluently. When they get to WWE, either they move forward or they get lost in the shuffle, and it kind of hurts them.
And now NXT is working off of TNA's roster, so it's like you got
versus Fraxium.
The Hardys beat Nathan Fraser and Axiom.
They kept the belts, so
they retained their TNA tag team titles.
Got Moose versus Oba.
That I like the big Moosey.
And Moose lost.
Yeah, but he's also heard something about a hip injury. Could be neither here or there, but might be lumbering around a little bit there. But between Moose and the definitely guys got a point with that of who's coming up, and some stick. My only point with that though is like some just stick out more than others. You're going to be able to notice, like, okay, who's probably going to be kind of hop, skip, and jump right through NXT versus those who's going to be.
When you do stories, you can have a finish with that story because they're going to be, all right, this person's ready. Let's finish the story, and then you finish it. They go up to WWE. WWE, you finish the story. All right, now what do we do with Cody Rhodes? And like that's the thing. Like it's a lot harder because either you let them go or you keep working with them. So with NXT, we're ready to let them go to move up. So you don't have to worry about having this prolonged thing. Okay, we got to fill this guy back into the story somehow. No, his story is finished. He's ready to move forward. He's ready to move up onto the main roster. So the stories can be a lot better. They can be a lot more easier to write. And I think that's why NXT gets a lot better storylines because
I think
changing people.
To no small extent, a lot of that is done either by hope or original intent when they kind of set that up.
People to play with, and you have less people to play with. You're not getting new talent and then trying to fill it in.
The WWE is looking at almost like an entire, in one way or another, kind of like a controlled monopoly. If not anything, with the entire wrestling business. I mean, it's really going to be choking out even more. Independence will always still be there, but as far as WWE's developmental, they're not just looking at NXT. They got LFG is a whole different story, but they have networks, and like I said, what they're doing with TNA and AEW, and having at least some sort of network when it comes down to like I said, character copyrights and theme music and all that stuff that used to be a whole. They don't have to change. They don't have to change their name every of the promotion or rebranding. But I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go either. But like I said, they put them up, and once they get into the mid card, still on both shows, just the whole mid card level is just a hodgepodge. But anyway,
Well,
leaving,
everybody-
leaving on a positive note.
Mike, any other matches that were of importance other than those three?
From what I remember,
What was it? There was a Trick Williams one. I think it was a strap match or something. I don't know.
Javion Evans wrestled some guys. And then I forgot the Street Profits won the tag team titles on SmackDown at the end of SmackDown last week.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I watched AEW. I kind of remember some. MVP was trying to recruit MJF to be in a Hurt Syndicate. The first white dude in the Hurt Syndicate.
But that's the thing with that. I like MJF. I'd love to see. I don't know why he's even in AEW at this point. I don't know why after TNA he wasn't called up to the WWE. I mean, he'd be right up there with LA Knight as far as popularity and stuff. I like the Carter character. And now with whatever his name is now. So I'm waiting for him to come up with new initials with a new name in the WWE.
Oh, you don't have to. Like,
NTW or something.
I think with AEW, like they don't lose their names when they leave, do they?
So he'll probably show up as MJF, and that's the thing. I would like to see
Ricky Starks was in AEW, and now he's in NXT as Ricky Saints.
Mm.
And I don't remember what he went by on the Indies, but
that's what I want to bring up.
Pay-per-view.
The what?
Did he wrestle on NXT on Tuesday?
No.
Or this morning, whatever day it is.
After it was a big to do that didn't mean to pause here, but it's just like I love it. No, I forgot. I'll get into that next week, I think. Get that point tonight, but thank you guys. Well, we should pick up more on. Well, of course, the show is now. Well, watch it tonight, tomorrow. We'll stick with Sunday. Is that going to be okay for everybody? Craig, next week?
Yeah, I don't have anything I think going on, so.
Yeah,
I think you're gonna should have a weekend off after working through one. Mike, you good? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Definitely makes my day. But as far as that, be another week for Kayfabe Chronicles.
All right.
It always works as well. I mean, and like I said, between the two things.